Alright, we all know the advantages of owning your home versus renting. We don't really hear many people talk about hunting property, leasing versus buying. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of each. It's August, deer season's coming. You can check social media. Everybody's scrambling around looking for clubs to join, land to lease. My phone is blowing up. People asking, hey, you know anything to lease? We don't deal with leases. We only deal with purchases and sales. I know a lot of people lease hunting property because they think in their own mind that they can't afford to buy hunting property, when most of the time that's not the case. I've proven it several times over the past couple years, selling hunting properties to people who didn't think they could buy a hunting property. We all know that the lease prices are going up. They go up every year, and they seem to have been going up rather dramatically the past few years. So let's say you're leasing 300 acres for $15,000 a year. So it's you and 4 buddies, it's 5 of y'all, that's $3,000 a piece. That's not a lot of money when you think about $3,000 a year, but at the same time, you only have hunting rights. You can't do anything with that property but hunt on it, and you're stroking a check for $3 grand, $4 grand, sometimes $5 grand just to hunt. If you're leasing property, like I said, you've only got hunting rights, so you can't go in and cut the landowner's timber down to clear out a 2-acre food plot. That's his timber. You can't cut that timber. If you need a prescribed burn done, which all properties do, you need to be doing prescribed burns, one for the timber habitat and one for the timber and 2 for the wildlife habitat. You don't own the property, you can't do any of that. Now sometimes you've got a really cool landowner, and they'll let you go in and burn and stuff, and you'll pay for it and all that if you can explain to them the benefits of it. But most of the time, the landowner just doesn't let you do any of that stuff. They're hands off. They own it for a timber investment. They don't want to fool with it. They really don't want you fooling with it. You can hunt the deer on it, turkeys, and that's it. Another drawback that I hear all the time from leasing property is they lease a piece of property from one of these big timber companies, and the timber company, they especially like to do this during turkey season, will come in and start cutting timber during hunting season. There's not a thing you can do about it. You stroke that check to hunt it, but when it's time to cut the timber, they own it, so they're coming to cut the timber. And we all know what it's like being in a club or a lease or whatever, and maybe you're in it with 4 or 5 of your buddies, and 1 or 2 of them decide to drop out, and you got to go look for other members. Well, a lot of times you get these other members and you don't like them. It just doesn't work out, and then you've got to worry about kicking somebody out, and it's a pain, and nobody really wants to deal with that. So how do you avoid all of the pitfalls and drawbacks of leasing property? You buy it. So what I try to do is get people out of the mindset that hunting is an expense. Oh, it is what it is, man. I'm paying $3,000 to $5,000 a year to hunt. That's an expense. I'm willing to pay it. It is what it is. You get more into the mindset of it's an investment, which it is, because land values do what? They increase every year, especially around southwest Mississippi, where land values are increasing at a crazy rate. Most of the time it comes back to, man, I can't afford it. If I did buy something at $3,000 to $4,000 an acre, I'm only going to be able to afford 30, 40 acres, and that's not enough to hunt. Well, number one, that's not true. For every person that tells me they need 500 acres to manage, to be able to properly manage and hunt and have a nice place, I can show you a person that hunts on sub 40 acres and kills nice deer every single year. So look, you're already getting together with your buddies and you're spending X amount every year on a lease. Why not get together with those same buddies, form an LLC, and go buy a piece of property? If you all can afford a 30 to 40 acre piece yourselves, well, there you go. You take those same 5 buddies and you go buy 150 to 200 acres. How do you do that? Well, I recommend going sit down with an attorney first and having all of the expectations of everybody laid out. So what that attorney is going to tell you to do, he's going to say, you start an LLC. All right, you've got all members of everybody that's going to be in it in the LLC, equal portions. You're going to need 20% down, so everybody's responsible, to get that 20%. So you all throw in, have your 20% down payment, and in the writing from the attorney, you can structure it however you want. A lot of these lenders are great about, helping structure this thing to where it works out for everybody. So got the structure laid out. Okay, we've got our 20% down payment. This is what our payment is every month. You split that 5 ways. So now you've got your own property that you can go cut timber anytime you want or not. You can do prescribed burns like you should be doing every year. You can build a camp. It's your property. You can do whatever you want with it. And the best part about it is your land value is going to increase. So you bought this property, you set it up exactly the way you and your buddies or your family members wanted it set up. You've hunted it for 3 or 4 years. You've had some great hunts. You got plenty of deer on camera. You got pictures of nice kills. You turn around and sell that property in 4 to 5 years, make a nice profit, and upgrade to a bigger property. Not only that, but you can take that money, 1031 exchange it, tax-free, roll that into the next bigger property, and repeat the process. So start thinking of it in terms of an investment every year rather than an expense. Your money is making money when you invest in land. When you're stroking a check to a timber company or a private landowner, that money's gone. It's just an expense. So if that's something you may be interested in, you've got questions, you need to be put in contact with the right lenders or right attorneys. We've got all those contacts. I'd love to go over the process with you. It's very easy. We do it all the time.